So let's talk about contact tracing. Well, why would we even be talking about contact tracing when this is a rideshare channel? Well, Uber just came out and said that they are contact tracing, and they've been doing this for months. So it actually started in 2019 before the pandemic even began. So that's why we're going to be talking about contact tracing and what this means for you as drivers as well as passengers. That's what we're talking about right now. Hey everyone, Chris here from Real Rideshare Stories. If you're new to the channel and you're looking for different things within the rideshare industry, whether it's updates to what's going on, news, tips and tricks for passengers and drivers, or what actually happens on real rideshare rides, start now by hitting that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications. Also make sure to check the description below for other helpful information and tips. Oh, Uber, you sneaky, sly company, you. They've been collecting data and contact tracing for months now, starting in 2019, going through the pandemic, and now it's becoming news and known that they are participating in this whole contract tracing program. Now, to start off, this is not going to be about contact tracing itself. This is going to be about what Uber's doing. I know it's politically charged. I know there's controversy behind it. That is for a whole different conversation. The only thing I'm going to be sharing is what Uber and possibly Lyft is actually doing when it comes down to contact tracing, what data it's collecting from its users, both drivers and riders, and what it could possibly mean for you. All right, this is the article I'm going to be referencing. There's actually two articles that I'm going to be going over for this video. This is the first one. They're both from Business Insider. And if you want to check out the articles, read them in full, links will be in the description for it. This one is titled, Uber has been quietly helping governments with contact tracing for months. And then the second one that I'm going to do is Uber is sharing user data on drivers or riders who may have come in contact with coronavirus infected individuals to aid contact tracing efforts. And again, this is talking about what Uber's doing, not necessarily the whole political side of it, the whole controversy side of contact tracing. That's a whole different topic of conversation. So again, it's just what Uber's doing. So right here it just says, for months, Uber has been providing health officials with data to help them with contact tracing efforts. And the ride-sharing company has designed a portal specifically for health officials to request this data. And it's saying that the new service received 560 requests from 29 countries in the first half of 2020. So it's going on and says, Uber has been quietly helping health officials around the world with contact tracing, the company told Reuters, and they also broke the news on that. So you can go check that out if you want to do a Google search on it. The rideshare company has built a special portal for health officials to request access to riders and driver data. Uber has provided user data to officials before, for example, with police departments investigating a crime, but this is a little bit different. So again, it's contact tracing. So officials can ask for data based on passenger names of ride receipts, the idea being that it could help them get in touch with someone who might need to quarantine. Now, the crazy part of this is Uber does not require actual names. So a rider could put in any name, and then that way, if they did come down with the virus and was asked about this contact tracing stuff, then the information that they give them, oh yeah, we took a rideshare at one point, and then if they try to request that data, it's not going to show because they put in a fake name. So good job, Uber. Smart thinking. So yeah, that's a problem though right there. It says company officials told Reuters that the service has been active for months and the company is able to provide relevant data within a few hours of receiving a request. Why can't you do that for drivers who want to know more information about why they've been deactivated? Just saying. In the first half of 2020, the company received 560 coronavirus-related requests from 29 countries, and out of those requests, 158 came from the U.S. In 40 different locations around the U.S. as well. So the service was already in the works before the pandemic hit the U.S. In 2019, the company started receiving requests from U.S. health officials following a measles outbreak, which you may have remembered from last summer. Unspecified company executives held a meeting with the Center for Disease Control and local health officials in LA in January 2020 to discuss how Uber data could be used for health purposes. The coronavirus was also discussed at the meeting because that was when it was happening in China and starting to go outside of China. So it said our timing ended up being beneficial, and that allowed us to get ahead of COVID starting ramping up globally. Uber's chief of law enforcement, Mike Sullivan, told Reuters. So yes, for those who didn't know, Uber and Lyft are collecting a lot of data from both its drivers and their passengers. And what data they're actually collecting, not everybody knows exactly what it is. But I'm also going to be doing a video that's going to be put out tomorrow, so make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications so you'll see that video, because some drivers are trying to find out what's going on with the algorithm and what data they're collecting when it comes to the drivers. So it's kind of parallel to what today's video topic is, but it's also another avenue about the vast data that they're actually collecting and how they're dispersing rides. And then going on to the second article, this is going to be highlighted out of a couple of things from this. So if you want to read the entire article, again, the link will be in the description below. And just starting off, it says, the ride-hailing giant unveiled an initiative to share user data on drivers or riders who may have come in contact with coronavirus-infected individuals with global public health officials to aid contact tracing efforts. Public health officials will be able to view the data and suggest actions Uber should take regarding drivers or riders with confirmed cases of coronavirus, like temporarily blocking usage of Uber services. Now, the reason why they're saying it's unveiled initiative is because it's becoming more public knowledge, even though the last article from Business Insider said that this has been going on for months and started in 2019. So going down a little bit, it says, considering that Uber currently holds 103 million active US users, its new service could go a long way towards supplementing manual contact tracing efforts in hard-hit states like Florida. Human contact tracers in Florida say they've had to shorten the length of interviews by at least half to contend with the surge in cases, suggesting their efforts could be less comprehensive. Why wouldn't you just do that through a video chat, Florida? Just throwing that out there. Let's problem solve. Sorry, just had to. Suggesting their efforts could be less comprehensive. However, we expect that Uber data may only be useful in providing insight about coronavirus among certain demographics. A large portion, 45% of Uber or Lyft users, are under the age of 29, and most, 69%, earn an annual income of $60,000 or more. So their demographics of who may be taking and using this could be skewed a little bit, so their data can only go so far. But Uber's initiative adds to the litany of moves tech companies are making in contact tracing, but we think its efforts will be hampered by consumer distrust and programs from larger tech firms like Apple and Google. Uber isn't the only tech giant diving into contact tracing. Apple and Google combined forces to launch a contact tracing effort in mid-April, and you may have seen on your phone that you download the new iOS, whether it's on iPhone or the OS on Google, and you'll see that there's contact tracing now. If you want to participate in that or not, that's up to you if you want to opt out or not. Like I said, this is more about Uber, not really about the entirety of it when it comes to contact tracing. But it also says that the University of Washington teamed up with Microsoft to roll out contact tracing app the same month. And then going on a little bit further, it says, additionally, we think Uber's offering could raise concern among consumers, considering a sliver of the population trusts Uber with handling sensitive health info. So right there is a big thing too. According to a 2019 Rock Health survey, less than a quarter of the 10% of US adults willing to share health data with a tech company peg Uber as a worthy recipient. That means nobody wants to actually give their information to Uber, and some don't even want to give their name. So they're giving fake names, and that's showing up as a problem as well. So this just goes to show you how much data Uber and Lyft are actually collecting. Now, this is just a sliver of that information and how much information and data that they're actually collecting from its users and how they're using that data is still unknown. There's only little slivers and tidbits of information that get leaked out or known, like contact tracing and its efforts to try to help with local health officials or state health officials or country health officials, depending on what country, local area, state is actually looking for that information. So yeah, it's just how much data are they collecting on you? How are they using that type of data? And what are they using it for? A lot of that information is still secret and unknown. But like I said, those little slivers are coming out. Now I want to know what you think. What do you think about this? Do you think that this is something that's a good, positive thing? Do you think that this will even have any impact? Or do you think that this is just another way that they're able to, be some sly little company and they haven't shared this data or the ability to know since it started up until now? So yeah, comment below, let me know your thoughts. Now that's the end of this video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications so you'll be notified every time a new video is uploaded. Also make sure to check the description below for other helpful information and tips. And as always, never drink and drive, always tip your drivers, your delivery drivers, and your shoppers, and we'll see you next time.